Today we're going to be covering 15 underrated, underappreciated fragrances that you need to try as soon as you can. These aren't the usual fragrances that you see in the spotlight being talked about all the time. These have pretty easily fallen under the radar a little bit, which I think is kind of a shame, but also it's not really a bad thing either. I do think that they do deserve more recognition as far as appreciation goes because they're really good. They just haven't really made it onto that hype train. And a lot of these have been out for a good little while at this point, and they probably never will make it there. So maybe this will be an opportunity for you to kind of come into a few new things that you never thought to try before that might become some of your favorites. Like I said, we have 15 fragrances to go through here, so I'm just going to cover these quickly, okay? Let's start off with Ralph Lauren Oud, okay? Polo Oud, I guess. Now, this one is new, relatively new. However, there was also a release like this before. There was Supreme Oud and Supreme Leather and a few others, right? All those got discontinued, but they never really got all that popular either. Part of the reason why they got discontinued. This one's got oud, incense, and cinnamon. You know, at this point, the oud phase has kind of burned out. You know, now we're into blue fragrances and iris and bubblegummy sweet and, you know, things like that, right? The oud hype train has come and gone. Yeah, some releases still get put out every now and then, but it's not the majorly popular thing anymore. At this point, pretty much every designer brand has put out some form of oud scent over the years, but here we have another one. But this is just a really nice designer level oud with a warm, spicy undertone. This is not hard to pull off. It's still gonna be a people pleaser. It's from Ralph Lauren. They're not going to put out anything that's too daring. This isn't going to get a whole lot of attention. It's probably not going to be picked up as a hype beast, but it's a really solid pickup for fall and winter wear. Next up, we have a scent from Roa Parfums. You know, this is a niche brand that's pretty expensive, right? More of a premium product. And with that premium product comes a premium price tag. So that's going to be the main reason why this isn't all that popular. However, there are, you know, niche brands and niche fragrances that have gotten hyped up before from this brand, from other brands as well. So it's not only a price concern, it's also just a, you know, simple fact that it just didn't get all that popular. A Midsummer Dream Eau de Parfum by Roa. This might be one of my favorite bottles from them. I don't have every single Roa, but I have a lot of them, all of the main ones. But this is the bottle that always stands out the most to me. Absolutely gorgeous. Might not look as good on camera as it does in person, but I love the detail. I just love it. It's 100 ml. It's got elemi, cardamom, bergamot, and lemon. The way I kind of would describe this one is it smells like an enchanted, magical forest, really. It's got this woody, citrusy, kind of earthy smell to it. It just smells like spring or fall in the outdoors is kind of, you know, one way to put it, I guess. And I don't know. There's just something special about this one. The first time I tried this was from a sample, I believe. I placed an order with them, and every now and then, or I think every time you place an order through Roa, you can get free samples. And this is one of them, and immediately I was hooked on it. That worked its way into a full bottle, which I'm glad to have. Again, you know, this is no Elysium, it's no Creation E or anything like that as far as popularity and hype is concerned, but it's a really good release that you shouldn't look over, especially if you're a fan of the brand. Next up, we have Burberry Hero Eau de Parfum. What a great improvement over the original Eau de Toilette. And also the new Parfum is great as well. This one's got benzoin, 3 different types of cedar wood, pine needles, and some incense in here. I always like to point that out. It means absolutely nothing, really, just mostly marketing, but it is kind of funny when you look at the base notes and it's cedar wood, cedar wood, cedar wood of different varieties, right? But yeah, it's an earthy, woody, smoky, spicy scent, essentially. It doesn't have the new style of sweetness. It has a sweetness from just kind of the incense and some of the other sweeter notes going on, just not bubblegummy. A little bit more masculine, a little bit more traditional in the sense, but definitely not an old smelling scent. You know, it's something that's going to change things up, right? Especially with all the new releases and the trends and directions that they're going. This one kind of goes against that and away from that a little bit, which is warmly welcome. Next up, we have Carolina Herrera Bad Boy Le Parfum. Never really know which way to hold this one up. There it is. Nice matte finish. Bottle looks great. Doesn't look as tacky as the original in my opinion. It's got cannabis, grapefruit, leather, and vetiver. So it kind of has an herbal green smell with a peppery, spicy undertone and then some woods going on. Kind of like a, to me, more of a spring fall scent as well. You know, something that isn't going to be fresh enough to wear in the summertime, not really heavy enough to where I would gravitate towards it in the wintertime either. Just kind of the in-between temperatures when it's more of a comfortable temperature outside, not extreme in one way or the other. That's what this one's perfect for, you know, especially when you're getting into spring and things are starting to warm up a little bit. This is a nice option to slowly work your way into that. Once full-blown summer hits, you know, this will end up getting too sweet, but it's a really nice transition scent. For what it's worth, I think it's pretty unique. And because it's a bad boy flanker, it's not going to get all that much attention. It never has, and I don't think it ever will. And that's because the original Bad Boy wasn't really all that well received. And so I think everything after that, it's going to be similar until maybe they start to build up a better reputation, which I will say their flankers have been really good. Bad Boy Extreme is a great one as well. But I love the Lauren Parfums. It's a great performer, something a bit different. Now this next one's going to be a little bit more controversial, but I do really like it. And it was one that I didn't think I was going to. I had it sealed up in the box for several weeks just because I wasn't really all that excited to try it. But I do really like it. It's Valentino Uomo Rockstud Noir. Okay, so actually it's Born in Roma Rockstud Noir. The name on this one is lengthy. It's got bergamot, sage, and ambergris. That's all that they give you. I mean, to sum it up, it kind of has, you know, some of the original Born in Roma going on, but then you also get a little bit of a Y Lauren Parfums twist with a little bit of a Y Eau de Toilette twist as well. What's the difference? Well, the Eau de Toilette has more of a kind of a soapy, linens, clean, fresh washed clothes type of smell. And Y Eau de Parfum has a bit more of that sage, amberwood sweetness going on. It kind of has both of those mixed with the original Born in Roma smell, kind of all combined into one. You know, so, you know, it's just going to be something that isn't going to be exciting. It's not going to be unique smelling like a few of these others. But if you can get this one for a fair price on discounters, it's a super good compliment getter, very wearable, great quality. I really like this one. It smells great. You know, it's not exciting, but it's nice. Next up, we have Lalique Ombre Noir. You know, this one I think you can get for around $70 to $80, and it smells like it could be going for $170 or $180 in my opinion. It's got cognac, tobacco, and cinnamon. It's a beauty. Gonna be a bit more unique for sure, a bit more daring, and a bit more specific. It's not gonna be something that everybody's gonna dive straight into, especially if you're newer as far as starting out is concerned. It might be something you want to work your way up to. I think if I would have smelled this one when I was first starting out, I wouldn't have had near the appreciation for it that I do now, having smelled a lot of other things, and I kind of have my taste dialed in at this point. So judging by that note breakdown and even by the name and the coloration of the scent, it is more of a fall and winter scent. But again, it's really good, and it doesn't smell like anything else, which I admire, you know, because they kind of made their own path here and they put out something that is very unique. Love this stuff. If you like boozy, smoky, rich scents, this is it, and it's not all that expensive either. Let's keep this one moving with Mont Blanc Legend Red. This one's got blood orange, grapefruit, and cedarwood. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Rokus's Loam. You guys know that one? That's a $30 scent. Kind of, you know, somewhat similar. Has the blood orange, which is used in that, and it's very prominent. Same here. It's got the aromatics and the woody notes and stuff. You know, it follows a similar layout, but this one has a legend smell to it, also known as kind of like an Abercrombie & Fitch fierce smell, right? So Rokus's Loam doesn't have that. This one, it does maintain some of that original legend smell, which is going to set the two apart. Rokus's Loam on its own, to me, is a very versatile scent that is, you know, likable to everybody and easy to pull off. But if you want something that's going to be even more safe, Legend Red would be the way to go. Not saying that Rokus's Loam is an unsafe purchase or a bad blind buy or something daring, because it's not. But this one, it just takes that similar style and makes it even more designer level. I'm sure you guys remember this guy, Philip Plein No Limits, an absolutely horrendously tacky bottle, which I don't hate it, but you know, it doesn't really blend in with all the others, that's for sure. It definitely stands out and, you know, gets the point across. It's got leather, dark chocolate, and vanilla, and it was perfumed by Alberto Morillas, which is, of course, someone who needs no introduction. So really, I mean, there's a great nose behind it. The marketing here is a little bit off, right? It's a little bit loud, but the scent, it's really good. I'm telling you guys, this is a great fragrance. I mean, it's easy to pass on it, but try it and you'll thank me later. It kind of smells a little bit like Gucci Guilty Absolute, which Alberto Morillas also perfumed. But it does have a sweeter, chocolatey smell, of course, and then just more of a designer level smell. Gucci Guilty Absolute is very unique and challenging, and it's not for everybody. I've seen a lot of people who have bought that one and absolutely hated it. I don't think you're going to have as much of that here with this one, but it is still going to be kind of, you know, polarizing, and so that's something you should be prepared for. Definitely something that you just don't see all the time, but it's really good, and not that expensive on discounters either. Let's move back over to a summer scent. We have L'Eau Super Majeure d'Issy by Issey Miyaki. Of course, it's got sea notes, sea salt, a cashmere, and smoke, which is kind of out of place, but it's in there, I guess. You know, as far as the brand is concerned, you just don't see this all that much. You typically see a lot of the other flankers that they're putting out all the time, which I do like as well. A lot of them are pretty good, but this one is a little bit more low-key, and I think that that's okay, but it is really good. And the fact that it's not popular shouldn't be a testament to say that this is a bad scent. It's just underutilized. I think as far as a summer fragrance goes, something, you know, wearable and kind of different and has a nice zesty punch is concerned, this is a great one to pick up for, again, not a lot of money. Dunhill Century Blue. I just talked about this one recently, but I want to bring it up again. You know, in a world of blue fragrances, this is like the last one that comes to mind for most people, right? You never think of this stuff. It's got ambroxan, it has orange, iris, and sea salt, some other citrus in here as well. But yeah, it's a ambroxan-based scent, but with a little bit of an iris, giving it a bit of a creaminess to go along with that freshness and kind of ambroxan bright pepperiness, and then the citrus and stuff. So it's just a different take on a pre-existing, very popular DNA. It's got a magnetic cap, which is very, you know, odd. Like, it's hard to kind of get a grip on that sometimes to pull it off. You kind of almost have to push up on it. There's not a whole lot to grab onto, you know, but it is magnetic. That's pretty cool. $40 or so on discounters, and it's an odd size bottle. It is 4.5 ounce, 135 ml. You pretty much never see that, so strange, but good amount of liquid for a pretty affordable price. Next up, we have a giant bottle of Tumi Continuum. I mean, this is what, 200? It's gotta be, yeah, 200 ml. It's an eau de parfum. I mean, I don't know why. I think it was on sale, Macy's or something. They had it marked way down, and it made sense to just get this over the 100, but this is gonna be enough to last me a lifetime. It's got tobacco, amber, suede, and oud. This is a beauty. You know, Tumi, as far as fragrances are concerned, are underrated. They're not talked about all that much. They have some great luggage. Apparently, I've never bought it because it's expensive, but it looks cool online. But as far as their fragrances are concerned, you just don't see about them. But they are putting out some really good releases, and I think over time they will start to be appreciated more. The cap is cool as well, so that locks into place. It's metal. You twist that and it lifts right off. Nice red atomizer. Again, metal construction here on the cap. Nothing but quality as far as presentation is concerned, but also the scent too. I mean, it's really, really impressive. This stuff smells great. If you're into tobacco, if you're into smoky, kind of oudy scents, I mean, this is it right here. It's punchy, it's strong, it's heavy, it's rich, but it smells great. Let's jump over to something more affordable, you know, $30 to $35, maybe $40, somewhere around in there. Diesel Bad Intense. I love this stuff. I remember the first time I smelled, I think it was probably the original Diesel Bad. It was actually in a magazine. You know how they send out those, you know, peel and smell strips and stuff, or in magazines and all that stuff, like samples. That's where I smelled this at first. And when I first smelled it there, it kind of reminded me of Invictus Aqua. Diesel Bad Intense has less of the Invictus Aqua smell, but nonetheless still a really pleasant, wearable people pleaser. It's got white tobacco, nutmeg, woody notes, and caviar, which is, you know, weird, but I guess it's there. I like this a lot. Warm, spicy. The white tobacco is more of an aromatic, light tobacco leaf smell. It's not like a rich, smoky, strong tobacco, so there's actually a fair amount of freshness to this one that you wouldn't expect. But I really like it. And, you know, is what it is. This is an easy one to hate on. Diesel as a brand is pretty easy to hate on, but they do have a few solid releases, and this is one of them. Now let's jump back over to Carolina Herrera Platinum Leather. Love this stuff. Love that shiny, bright bottle, too. As far as, you know, these are concerned, I can't remember what they call these. You know, every designer brand has like their more expensive line of fragrances, the Confidential line or something like that. I can't remember, but Mystery Tobacco, Iris Empire, you know, Virgin Mint, and so on. They're all amazing, and this one is too. So it has leather, of course. You got some musk and patchouli as well. It's not too strong, not too earthy, not too animalic as far as the leather note is concerned, which is great because that means you can actually wear this one in a lot of situations and not offend anybody. You know, something like Tuscan leather, it's still pretty wearable, right? Not too big of a deal. But there are scents that go even more extreme than that, and they can be a little bit hard to pull off. That's not the case with this one. It's a nice, high-quality, beast mode, wearable leather scent. It's really nice. We'll end this one with a cheapie for summertime. We have Ferragamo Free Time. It's got lemon, ginger, and pink pepper. Just a nice cheapie, kind of spray and go, wearable everyday, freshy, you know. Nothing to write home about, nothing that's gonna blow your mind, but hey, for the price, it could be one of those that you toss in your gym bag, laptop bag, book bag, car, you know, carry on, just something cheap to toss somewhere. And worst case, you know, forget to put something on for the day, or a buddy of yours smells and he needs to wear something. You've got something like this that just works for any situation, any time of the year. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. 15 underrated fragrances that you should try because you're missing out. I will link all these down below and make it easy for you to pick these up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.